have an 8th grade education. And what I mean by that is I went to the 9th grade twice, as a matter of fact. I just never managed to exit the 9th grade as gracefully as I would have liked. But I did learn to read before I got out of there, and I read pretty good stuff, mainly because of a couple of teachers I had that knew exactly what they were looking at and knew I wasn't going to be around very long. But they didn't think I was a total waste of time. Now, I would have given anything to have had a great English teacher, but all my English teachers, as it turned out, were football coaches. It's just Texas. But I had a drama teacher and a biology teacher. And the drama teacher, he was just, what he does now is he's still teaching. He teaches theater to kids that have recently immigrated across the border with Mexico. He lives in the Rio Grande Valley in South Texas, and he teaches theater to those kids as a way to teach them English, which I think is really cool. And he gave me my first copy of the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, because my first Bob Dylan record was Highway 61, just because of my age. And the other teacher was my biology teacher, but he had the best country band in San Antonio, and he knew where I'd been at night, so, because I played bass in his band part of the time. So he'd let me sleep and not flunk me, and he turned me onto some good books as well and a lot of good music. So I hit the ground reading. And whenever something happened in my life that I didn't understand, or something in the world that I didn't understand, I always looked for answers to this day in books. Now, 10 years ago, when we were all looking for answers, one of the books by my bed at the top of a really big stack was a book called Warriors of God by James Reston. And that's a book about the Third Crusade. Now, we didn't get to the Third Crusade by the 9th grade in Texas. I don't know about you guys, but they were still lying to us about what happened at the Alamo at that point. So I learned in that book that the Third Crusade was about Salah ad-Din versus Richard Coeur de Lion, Richard the Lionheart. Now, I knew who he was. I knew he was the King of England. But I didn't know, and I learned from that book, that he spoke English as a second language because he was really French. And I learned from that book that Salah ad-Din was a Kurd, which I found shocking because when we rolled into Iraq, there were statues of two people in that country, Salah ad-Din and Saddam Hussein, because Salah ad-Din, the Kurd, was Saddam Hussein's hero, which confused me because I knew what happened to Kurds in the Iraq of Saddam Hussein. So, but the greatest revelation for me, and I mean revelation with a lowercase r now, and all my revelations are revelations with a lowercase r, was just how close together the Dome of the Rock and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and the Western Wall are. One piece of real estate, no bigger than this building, folks. And for a couple of thousand years plus now, people have been fighting and killing each other over that piece of real estate and how to worship the same God. Not two gods, not three gods, but one God, the God of Abraham. I wrote this song, there were people that said, "You're writing about a lost cause, a hopeless case." And I replied, that can't be right, because I am a recovering heroin addict, and I simply cannot afford to believe anything like a hopeless case or a lost cause even exists, because there was a point in my life where I was considered to be exactly that by everyone, including myself. I wrote this song in the Prince Hotel in Melbourne. Because I couldn't sleep, and the tanks had just rolled into Jerusalem again. And I'm just gonna keep, for my part, singing this song until I die, or it comes true, whichever one happens first. Up this morning, none of the news was good. Death machines were rumbling across the ground where Jesus stood. And then my TV told me it's always been that way, and nothing anyone can do or say. Listen to him. Yeah, I almost lost my mind. I regained my senses again. Looked into my heart to find. I believe that one fine day the children of Abraham will lay down their swords forever in Jerusalem. Oh, now maybe I'm only dreaming. Maybe I'm just a fool, but I don't remember learning how to hate in the Sunday school. But somewhere along the way I strayed. I never look back again, but I still find some comfort now and then. And then the storm comes rumbling in. I can't lay me down, and the drums are drumming again. I can't stand the sound. I believe when the lion and the lamb will live in peace together in Jerusalem. Barricades then. Yeah, there'll be no wire walls. We can wash all this blood from our hands and all this hatred from our soul. I believe that on that day the children of Abraham will lay down their swords forever in Jerusalem. found their souls forever in Jerusalem.